Barnaby Barty, Buttercup the 11th, but everyone just called him Barty, was a beagle with a nose for adventure and a howl that could curdle milk in a good way, he thought. Barty fancied himself a daring bounty hunter, tracking down the most elusive quarry in the neighborhood. Lost toys, missing socks, and the occasional rogue squirrel. Barty's current case was the mystery of the pilfered picnic blanket. Mrs. Higgins, his human mom, had laid out her favorite checkered blanket in the park, only to have it vanish while she was distracted by a particularly compelling game of frisbee. Barty, ever the dedicated detective, was on the case. He began his investigation with his signature move, the super sniff. He lowered his nose to the ground and inhaled deeply, his ears flapping like tiny wings. He followed the faint scent of potato salad and sunscreen, the telltale signs of the missing blanket, through the park, his howl echoing through the trees. His search led him to a group of picnicking squirrels who scattered in alarm as Barty approached, convinced he was there to steal their acorns. Barty, however, was only interested in the scent trail, which led him to a rather surprising discovery. The missing picnic blanket draped over a statue of a very serious-looking park founder, now adorned with crumbs and squirrel droppings. Barty, with a triumphant bark and a face covered in crumbs, had solved the case. He proudly presented the blanket to Mrs. Higgins, who was less than thrilled with its new decorations but praised Barty's detective skills nonetheless. Barty had a complicated relationship with the mailman. On one hand, the mailman brought exciting things like packages and magazines. On the other hand, he was also the bringer of bills, which Barty suspected were some kind of evil scrolls. One Tuesday, the mailman didn't arrive. Barty, concerned that his favorite human, Mrs. Higgins, might be missing out on vital correspondence, mostly coupons for dog treats, decided to investigate. This was the case of the missing mailman. He started his search of the mailbox, sniffing each envelope for clues. He then followed the mailman's route, his nose twitching, his howl echoing through the neighborhood. He interrogated, barked at several neighbors, a passing jogger, and even a very suspicious-looking trash can. His investigation led him to the local fire station, where he found the mailman chatting with the firefighters, enjoying a cup of coffee. The mailman explained that his truck had broken down, and he was waiting for a tow. Barty, relieved that the mailman was safe and sound, and slightly disappointed that there was no real mystery to solve, accepted a friendly pat from the mailman and led Mrs. Higgins to the fire station to retrieve the mail. Barty, despite his adventurous spirit, was not a fan of vegetables. He much preferred meat, cheese, and the occasional stolen French fry. So, when the vegetables in the Higgins garden started to disappear, Barty was the prime suspect. Mrs. Higgins, however, knew that Barty, while mischievous, wasn't a veggie thief. She enlisted his help to solve the mystery. This was the case of the vanishing vegetables. Barty approached the garden with his usual enthusiasm, sniffing each plant with suspicion. He discovered tiny paw prints near the carrot patch and followed them to a small hole under the fence. The culprit? A family of rabbits. The rabbits, initially startled by Barty's dramatic howl, soon realized he was more interested in playing than apprehending them. Barty, surrounded by his new bunny friends, forgot all about the case and joined them in a game of chase around the garden. Mrs. Higgins, watching the scene from the kitchen window, couldn't help but smile. Her beagle bounty hunter had solved the case, albeit in a rather unconventional way, and made some new friends in the process. Barty Buttercup the 11th, the brave and slightly clueless detective, continued to bring laughter and adventure to the Higgins household, one hilarious case at a time. If you like this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. It will really help our channel grow. But if you don't like it, then just skip it and don't forget to check out our other videos. Thank you very much and goodbye.